quick take on this final one. The University of Colorado at Denver released a report this week that claims homelessness is being criminalized in Denver. Meanwhile, more complaints are being heard around about the general lack of public restrooms in downtown Denver, leading to other problems regarding the homeless. Penn, what did you think of the report and the claims made?
You know, first I would note it's homelessness isn't being criminalized just in Denver. It's a metro area-wide problem, and it's really disheartening when you look at the report. To me, it's disheartening because this is one of those issues that I think we have the resources at state and local governmental levels to address it. We just don't have the political will or desire to fix it because some of the fixes sort of rub people the wrong way from a social policy point of view. They're uncomfortable. It's a siting issue where you place appropriate shelter. But this is a solvable problem, and we ought to solve it rather than making people who are already in an unfortunate situation further victimizing them. And my hope is that the report may get some folks in government at all levels, state and local government, to sit down and talk about some comprehensive solutions. We have the resources to fix it. We just have to decide we want to address this issue.
Patty, your thoughts?
Well, and we will have the state talking about it next week because the right to rest, which is kind of the precursor of a homeless bill of rights, is being introduced in the legislature next week. So they'll be using this report, which is Metro, to talk about the entire state. But we do need to separate out a few things. The bathroom issue, as we will all see this afternoon when people leave Coors Field, is not a problem just for the homeless. Public restrooms is something Denver should be dealing with.
Amy, what do you think about the report and or the restroom problem?
Well, only if they have way more women's restrooms than they have men's, so that just like they have at Mile High Stadium and at Coors Field. No, you know, criminalizing homelessness, it's sort of one of those things you have a right to not, if you don't want to have a home. I mean, I just think somebody has a right to make that choice. But I do think, I don't like how we simplify it with and call it homelessness when there's really, as Bob Cote pointed out so many years ago, there's a difference between people who live on the streets and people who are truly homeless, and you can't lump them all together. And so you have to have the political will that we've discussed here, the political will to fix it. I'm just not certain that we do. We're 10 years after a fact, and I have yet to see it. So profile and courage for anybody who wants to stand up and fix it.
Eric, your quick take.
I'm going to go where Amy ended. We tend to regard homelessness as a monolith and homeless people as sort of a monolithic demographic. They're not. There are people who are homeless for economic reasons. There are people who are homeless due to addictions. There are people homeless for other reasons. And one strategy is not going to do it. You have to understand what the population is that you're dealing with, and the population is not a monolith. The idea of criminalizing homelessness does nothing for me. As Patty says, these are people, by and large, who've already been victimized by economic circumstances or addictive behavior or whatever. To criminalize it further is not the way to go. But other people have rights too, and you can disincentivize it and discourage it and try to structure where it is going to take place and under what ground rules. So homeless people are not the only ones with rights in this equation.